It's Friday. We have Functional Fitness Friday. Um, Today we're gonna do 3 rounds here of our circuit. We're gonna do 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest slash transition time. You don't need any equipment, but if you'd like to have a dumbbell or well, we don't need it. If you don't have a band, that's okay. But if you do have a mini band like this, definitely go grab that because we are going to use that for our dead bugs today, working on our hip flexor and core strength. But I'm going to go ahead real quick with our demos and then we'll get into it. So we're going to start off on the ground here today with push-ups. And we're going to do an alternating single leg push-up today. So we're going to have on our hands and toes here. We're going to have one foot up, or you can cross your legs, whatever feels better, coming down into our push-up. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. So one leg at a time, alternating through. This one's obviously hard to do from your hands and knees. So if you need to, just go into that eccentric slow lowering for your push-up, which I will most likely be switching to as well. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and do some split squats. For this, we're gonna do a tempo here. We're gonna do 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up to really work on engaging as many muscles as we can here in our legs. So we're gonna do all on one leg and then the other leg. So we're in our split stance here. We're coming down 1, 2, 3, back up 1, 2, 3. So moving nice and slow here. Like I said, we're gonna start on one foot and then same thing on the other side. So 3 down and 3 up. For those, if you'd like some extra weight, feel free to grab a dumbbell. I'm holding it in the opposite side hand of the leg that you're using. And then after that, for the last two, we're gonna be on the ground. We're gonna do a little bit of core work here to end the circuit. So first thing we're gonna do is single leg lowering here. So we're gonna have both of our feet towards the ceiling, one leg coming down, exhale, pull the leg back up, and then the other side again, exhaling down, inhaling down, exhaling up. And then to finish out, we're gonna do some dead bugs with a mini band here. So if you don't have a mini band, that's okay. You can still do the movement without it, but we're gonna wrap that mini band around our toes, doing opposite arm, opposite leg coming down, exhaling back up, and then again, the other side, exhaling back up. So that's gonna help us activate our hip flexors a little bit, strengthen them as we are strengthening our core at the same time. So that is going to be our circuit for today. So we're going to go ahead and warm up real quick. We're actually going to be on the ground for our warm up here again today. So we're going to start off with some quadruped rocks here on our hands and knees. And for these, we're not doing any adductor stretch or anything. Our knees are going to be hip width or wider, toes directly behind our knees here, not together, directly out. We're going to inhale, rock back. Exhale, coming back forward. And we're going to do that a few times here. So we're going to rock back as we inhale. Exhaling forward. Let's go ahead and do that 3 more times here. So we're going to do 5 total. And wherever we are at, our next one is going to be our last one. And after we finish our last one here, we're going to do a few reach throughs to help with some rotation, opening things up. So we're going to take one hand, we're going to inhale, we're going to reach through. We're going to exhale, opening up. We're going to do that one more time here on this side. We're going to reach through, reach a little further. Exhale, opening up. Then we can go ahead and bring our hand back up underneath our shoulder, doing the same thing on the other side. So we're going to inhale, we're going to reach through. Exhale, opening up. And one more reaching through. And opening up. Then we can go ahead and bring our hand back up underneath our shoulder. And we are ready to rock and roll. So 50 seconds of work here today, starting with an alternating single leg push-up. So we're getting on the ground, hands and toes, 3, 2, 1, and go. So you can do a few things here with your legs for the single leg. So you can either have your legs sticking straight out, or you can cross your toes over your ankles. So whatever feels more natural and better for you. If you want a challenge of keeping your core engaged and your glutes, and definitely have that leg sticking out, kind of an isometric glute movement if we are holding our glutes as we stick our leg out. So those are the options here. And then again, it's really hard to do from the knees here. So working on our slow eccentric lowering here. If we need to switch, 3, 2, 1. All right. Standing on up, we're doing our split squats here. 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up. 3, 2, 1. So 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind here. We're coming down. 1, 2, 3, up, 2, 3. So keeping our chest over our front foot here, keeping our core engaged, making sure that we are on train tracks, not a tightrope. So foot is out to the side, knee tracking right over our second toe. Chest is chest is leaning forward here. So we feel that in our front leg. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Switching our feet. 3, 2, 1. So again, same thing, nice and slow down. Driving through our front heel, big toe, little toe. We're going to feel that in our quads and in our glutes primarily. That's also why we want to keep our chest forward so we can feel that in our front glute. If you need to move a little bit slower with one of your legs, I know I feel like I say this a lot, but my right leg is a little bit weaker than my left leg, even though my right side is my dominant side. So I like to really focus and move a little bit slower on this side, even though we are doing a tempo anyways. 3, 2, 1. All right. Onto the ground here. We have single leg lowering. 3, 2, 1. These transitions are going to be pretty quick. We want to inhale down, exhale up. We exhale like we're breathing through a straw. That'll help us really use our core here today. We want to use our core, not our hips. Come back up. Going down as low as we can, as long as we can still use our core to lift our leg back up. We also want our low back to stay on the ground here. So if our back is starting to really arch, just shorten your range of motion. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, if we have our mini band, we're going to go ahead and put that around our toes for banded dead bugs. 3, 2, 1. So regular dead bug position here, knees over the hips, hands in the air. We're coming down with one leg, exhaling, coming up, and then the other side. Coming back up. So we are going to feel this in our hip flexors because our hip is saying flex. With that band, we have the resistance. So we are going to be feeling our hip flexors working, but I don't want our hip flexors to pull our leg back in. So that's the difference here is, so right now my left leg is coming out. My right hip flexor is engaged, but as I pull my left leg back in, I'm not feeling that in my left hip flexor. So still training our core. 3, 2, 1. All right. Round 1 is done. We're going to do that 2 more times. Starting off with our push-ups here. 3, 2, 1. I know we've done push-ups the last 3 days. I'm just realizing that now. So my apologies. Our chests are going to be super strong here. If we're feeling the fatigue, I know I am because I also did chest yesterday at the gym. So going into our eccentric lowering, if that's where we're at today, like I always say, listen to your body. We want to push ourselves. We want to get better every single day, every session, week after week, month after month, year after year. So whatever we need to do today to make sure we can still get better without hindering ourselves or anything. 3, 2, 1. I really want us to still push ourselves here. All right, split squats. 3, 2, 1. So we're going down 3 seconds. So we're here 1, 2, 3, and up 2, 3. Going slow both ways really helps us engage a lot of muscle fibers. It helps us get better, get stronger, all of that. So that's something that if we don't have any weights or resistance bands, or even if we do, like for example, in here, I only have 5-pound dumbbells. So the way we make that harder, the way we get better with the same weights, we can do tempos, we can increase our time, we can pause, we can do isometric holds. There's a lot of ways that we can move the same, but still 3, 2, 1. There's ways that we can, get better with the same movements and the same equipment. So that's why we're doing tempos today. We're switching sides. 3, 2, 1. All right. So same thing. Going down 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 3. Really driving through our front heel. We want to make sure we're not pushing off of our back foot. Our back foot is just there for stability, for guidance, all of that, just like with reverse lunge, all of that. Or even a staggered squat or kickstand Romanian deadlift. We want to focus on really mainly using one leg. Again, 3 down, 3 up. 3, 2, 1. All right, we have single leg lowering and then dead bugs, and then one more round. 3, 2, 1. So we do want to keep our legs as straight as we can. This is definitely a really good workout for our pillar. We are working on the our core as a whole. And the stronger our pillar is, the better our movements are going to be, because our pillar is the basis of all of our movement here. We're really exhaling, breathing through our straw. We act like we have our zipper here. We're zipping our core up as we exhale. Y'all are doing awesome today. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are going to do our banded dead bugs next. Getting ready. 3, 2, 1. And if we don't have a mini band, that's okay. We can always focus and do, if you have like weights or something, you can do a core assist instead. You can also do a tempo here. So if you also want to do 3 down, 3 up here, or you can do a pause at the bottom, whatever feels good for you, as long as we are challenging ourselves and as long as we're using our core to pull our legs back in, then we can really make it our own movement. Everything feels different for everyone. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last round coming on up, starting with our push-ups here. This workout is flying by today. 3, 2, 1. All right. Again, being mindful how we're feeling. It's the third round here, so we really want to push ourselves. It's the hardest mentally when we're tired. And that's where if we work hard and push through the end of our workout when we're tired, imagine what else we can do when we are also tired. So it's kind of like we're training ourselves to finish strong here. I know it can be tough. I know my chest is hurting. It's on fire. We're doing awesome though. Like I said, we did lots of push-ups this week. So if you can this week, definitely do some stretching for our chest even more. We're definitely going to do some at the end with some pretzel here. 3, 2, 1. All right, done with those today. We're doing our split squats with our 3-1-3 tempo here. 3, 2, 1. All right, so 1 foot in front. 3 seconds down. 3 seconds up. Okay, we are doing great. Like I said, finishing strong. You can also, for this one, challenge yourselves a little bit more if you have your weight in one hand, or you can even pause for an extra second at the bottom. Really creating that good mind to muscle connection here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with that leg for today. Switching to the other side. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Last lower body thing here today. Finishing out with our core work. It's been a while since we've done directed core work like we are today. So definitely want to incorporate that more for us. I know I usually don't get any core work outside of bracing my core for deadlifts and squats, as well as during our classes. So definitely want to add more of that. But as always, if there's things that you want to work on, you can always let me know. Definitely want to keep challenging all of us. Want to keep us getting better here. 3, 2, 1. All right. Going to the ground here. Single leg lowering first. 3, 2, 1. Legs in the air here, coming down, exhaling up. So again, only going down as far as we can. Inhale, using our core here. We do also have Valentine's Day coming up, so I'll definitely do more heart-themed classes. And I'll incorporate a little bit more cardio this next month. It is Heart Health Month. So I want us to make sure we're taking care of our hearts. We need 150 minutes of moderate. 3, 2, 1. All right, getting ready for our banded dead bugs here. 3, 2, 1. So I think is the most core work I've gotten in a while. But definitely, like I said, I'm going to add more core in. We're going to do a little bit more cardio-based movements, making sure we're getting our 150 minutes of exercise a week, which I'm sure all of us do here, especially because we get a solid 90 minutes just from my classes. I'm sure y'all go to more classes a week, so aiming to get our cardio goals in. Like I said, we'll do more cardio core style classes. Maybe not for this one, but definitely for boot camp and exercise with exos. 3, 2, 1, and that is going to be it for our circuit today. So go ahead, grab a sip of water if you need it. And let's go ahead. We're going to start off with, let's do some figure 4 actually today, opening up our hips since we just did our last 2 movements. We used our hips a little bit more, so we'll go ahead, lay on our back, cross one ankle over the other knee, and if that tension feels good, go ahead and stay there. Or we can go ahead, interlace our fingers, grabbing either in the middle of our hamstring or in front of our shin, pulling our knee towards our chest. Nice big deep inhales through our nose. Exhale, sighing away our tension. And we're going to do one more breath here. And as we're finishing our exhale, gently bring our feet back to the ground. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So opposite ankle over our knee. That tension feels good. Go ahead and stay there. Or we can go ahead and interlace our fingers, grabbing either behind in the middle of our hamstring or in front of our shin, pulling our knee towards our chest. Same thing, inhaling through our nose into our belly. Exhaling, sighing away our tension. Let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, let's go ahead and gently release our foot back to the ground. And then the other foot. And then we're going to go ahead and let's go ahead and roll over onto our hands and our knees. We're going to open up our back and chest a little bit more after all of those push-ups. So from our hands and our knees here, we're going to go ahead and take one hand. We're going to reach through in between our opposite arm, opposite leg. Our hand is all the way on the ground. Our head is on the ground. And we're pushing our hand into the ground, rotating with our upper back away. So that way we get a nice stretch right underneath our shoulder blades. If we have our arms straight out, we're going to feel that more into our traps in the back of our shoulders. If you go down, if you point your hand down, you're going to feel it more underneath your shoulder blade and in the middle of your back. So finding the good angle for you with your arm. We're going to go ahead. We're going to take our other hand. We're going to wrap it around our body, tucking our hand into the opposite side hip. So our shoulder and our elbow are pointed towards the ceiling. It's going to help open up the front of our shoulders as well as our chest, as we're also opening up our back. So I like to do this just to open up our chest a little bit extra after all of our push-ups here today and yesterday and Wednesday. I promise I won't add as many push-ups next week because y'all know I don't really like them, so I don't know what I was thinking. But we did it. We made it through. We got better this week. So let's go ahead and do one more breath here. And as we're finishing our exhale, we can go ahead and bring our hands back up underneath our shoulders. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. We're going to take our opposite arm and we're going to reach through, bringing our hand and our head to the ground. Breathing nice and deep here. Exhaling, sighing away our tension. And we can go ahead and wrap our other hand all the way around our body, tucking it into the opposite side hip. Try and get our elbow and our shoulder pointed straight towards the ceiling here. Sighing away our tension. We're going to do one more breath here. And as we finish our exhale, we can go ahead and bring our hands back up underneath our shoulders. And then for our breathing today, we're going to do some child's pose again because I really like that. The way that relaxes our mind and our bodies and allows us to focus on our breath. So Staying on our hands and knees, let's go ahead and rock our hips back, walk our hands forward, bring our forehead, chin, or cheek to the ground. And from here, we're gonna breathe in through our nose into our bellies. And exhaling, releasing all the tension through our upper body, through our hips, letting our hips sink further into the ground. As we inhale, I want us to really feel our hips and our low back expand. And we're just going to kind of keep a nice tempo here. So um, let's go ahead, just make our inhales longer than our exhales. So let's inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and then exhale for 6 seconds. So we'll inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go ahead, try and keep that tempo. We're going to do that a couple rounds here. I'm going to be quiet. And wherever we're at, let's go ahead and make our next round our last round. And when we're ready after that exhale, and gently start to bring more pressure onto our hands and returning onto our hands and our knees. And then we can go ahead and return to a seated, kneeling, or standing position, but that is going to be all the time for today's class. So thank y'all for joining me. Nice job. Hopefully after that breathing and sitting in child's pose, we feel a little bit more refreshed. Our hips are a little bit more opened up. Our body's nice and calm. We can go and get some good lunch here, refuel after that workout. But thank y'all for joining me. And I'll see y'all next week for more class.